Hello again and welcome back. We're going to continue talking about the date object and continue studying dates. So we started solving some of the challenge problems, and we're on to challenge number 2. So challenge number 2 is to write a function that orders dates. So we want to take an array of dates in, and we want to return an array of ordered dates. Okay, so here's our starting function. Let's assume that dates, this parameter coming into the function, is an array. It's best for us to probably copy that array rather than mutating this original array, because if there's code that is using this array outside this function, if this function mutates that array, then the other code may not be aware that that has happened and something could go wrong, right? So it's better for us to copy this array here and then return a copy, okay? So, and the copy will be ordered, right? So let's start there. So let's make a new array, and we'll set it equal to an empty array, and then we'll use the spread operator to duplicate the dates. Okay, so this should copy. This actually won't duplicate the date objects in here, but it will create a new array and copy all the items in there into this new array. Okay, so remember, dates are numeric, right? And actually, let me go back 1 second. So the reason we're copying this also is because the array sort method is it's a mutating method. It mutates the original array, right? And so since we're going to use sort here, that's why we want to make a copy. Okay, so now we can sort this array, and it won't affect the original one. Okay, so now let me go back again. The dates are numeric, right? So actually, it's easy to sort numbers, right? So let's try that, right? Let's do a new array.sort, and the sort method takes a function as a parameter, okay? And then it provides to this function 2 parameters, so that it takes a callback function, and then that callback receives 2 parameters, A and B. So these 2 parameters represent 2 elements from your original array. So we don't know what they are, where they came from. We just know they're 2 random, or maybe not random, but 2 things from this other array right here. Okay, and but we don't know which 2. And what sort wants us to do is it wants us to look at those 2 things and then tell us, does A come first or does B come first, or should they not change places? Okay, and the way that it does this is it asks us to return a number, and if that number is less than 0, A comes first. If the number is greater than 0, B comes first. And if the number is 0, then they don't change places. So remember that dates are numbers, and we can treat them as numbers. So actually, if we return A minus B, then that solves the problem. Okay, right? I know it seems like it should be harder than that, but that's, I think, pretty much it, right? Let's give it a test, right? Because, imagine that this date is a number, right? It's, some large number, but B is a date that comes at a later time, right? So it's a larger number. If I subtract the larger number from the smaller number, I get a negative value, and A will come first, okay? If A was a date in the future, and B was today, then A would be a number of milliseconds in the future, like a larger number of milliseconds, and B would be a smaller number of milliseconds. If I subtract B from A, I get a positive number, and B comes first. If the 2 numbers are exactly the same number of milliseconds, then I get a 0, and they don't change places. Okay, so there we go. Oh, let's do one more thing. Let's return our new array, right? I like this better than just logging it to the console, though you could do that too as your solution. So that means that this function here is going to return a new array. So let's put a const here and say problem 2, and this will be our solution for problem 2, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to log the solution here and take a look at it. So let's test it. Let's do problem 2 and then go to our console and test our code. Okay, so here is our problem number 2, and it looks like we have an array of dates, and the first date is 1965, the second one is 2021 January 22nd, and the third one is 2021 January 29, 2021 February 1st, 2022 January 1st. So that looks pretty good, right? Looks like they're all in order. Let's try the stretch goal. Okay, so the stretch goal is, instead of returning an array of ordered dates, what I want to do is I want to return an object that has 3 properties: past, present, and future, and I want to put all the dates that happened in the past here, all the dates that are present here, and all of the dates that are in the future are in this last array. Okay, so that way I've organized my dates into dates that happened yesterday and beyond yesterday, and then dates that happened today and dates that happen in the future. So present is kind of a relative thing. Is it present if it's, you know, this year, this month, this day, this hour, right? So let's assume here that the present dates are today. Okay, so anytime today. So it could have been, actually, I guess like maybe it could have been an hour ago, and that's in the past technically, but let's just say for this problem, let's assume that any dates that happened today go in present. Okay, so we'll use day as the unit. Okay, so let's give that a try just for fun. So actually, we can use the first part of our problem here to order the dates. Okay, that's maybe a good starting place. So let's do that, and then let's get a const called results and set it equal to an object. And our object is going to have 3 properties. It's going to have past, present, and future. Okay, so we got past, present, and future, and now we just need to figure out or a way to know if any dates that we have are happen today. And to happen today, a date needs to be this year, this month, this day. Okay, so let's get those values. So I'm going to say const today equals new date. So this should give us a date that's like right now when the function was run. And then let's get the y. So this will be the year. It'll just be shorter to type that way, right? So I'll say today dot get full year, and then we'll say const month equals today dot get month, and const d for day or date is today dot get date. Now there is a get day, and that's different. That's the day of the week. It's 0 to 6. Get date is the calendar date, right? It's the number on the calendar, and that's kind of what we want, right? Because you could be Wednesday, but you know, tomorrow, like next week, right? And that's not, that would be the same day of the week, but not the same date, right? So there we go. So now let's check. So first of all, we just want to see if a date happened today, and then we can say whether the date happened, you know, before today or after today, right? So let's do that. Let's do if, and then we'll say if, oh, actually, wait a minute, I forgot. We got to loop over our dates first. We got to loop over and look at each of these dates. So let's use a for each loop. You could use reduce here maybe too. Let's do new array dot for each. For each takes a function, and it's going to take each of the elements in this array and pass it into the function here, the callback. So let's call that a date, because it should be a date object. And now we can look at that date and say when it happened. and figure out if it happened today or not. Okay, so let's say if, and then say if the year equals the like today's or this year, right, equals date.get full year, and if the month equals date.get month, and if the day of the month, right now, equals date.get date. Okay, so if these three things are true, then the date object, or this date object, has a date in it that happened today. So what we'll do is and technically I get it that technically a date that happened, an hour ago is in the past, but for this example, let's assume that present means today, even though it could have been in the past, right? Okay, so so what we want to do now is we want to push this date into the present here. So let's do results dot present dot push, and then I'll push in this date. Okay, so now we want to find out if a date happened in the past. So if it wasn't today, then I can say if date is less than today, then I know that it happened previously. It's a past date. So then let's say results dot past dot push the date, and else it should have happened in the future, right? So we can just do an else here, and we'll say results dot future dot push the date, and then this return new results here. Let's actually make this visible so we can see everything. So there's our code there. And so, we started here, we ordered our dates, we set up some results object that we're going to return, we calculated the current date, we looped over all of our dates, found out if the date was today, pushed it into the present, found out if it happened in the past, pushed it in the past, otherwise it must have been a future date, right? So the last step here is to return the results. So here we return the new array, but now we're going to just return results, right? And that'll be our results object. So let's save that and then give it a test here. Always good to test, right? So I'm going to clear and then run the console again. Okay, so let's see. So past dates are 1965, September 26, 2021, January 22nd. Present date is 2021, January 29. And then the future dates are 2021, February, and 2022, January, right? So that looks correct. Okay, great. So thanks for watching, and then we'll continue the last two problems in the next video.